I'd like to start out with a song that fits in very well in South Florida. It's called The 4-Minute Movie, and those of you who live down here and have lived down here for any period of time will understand the message of this song. You know how all these men come down here and they're so great fathers. They take their daughters around with them. It's just wonderful how close their families are. But this is called The 4-Minute Movie, and it's about a fellow who was rich, lived up in probably Palm Beach, and the investments went south in 2007 and 8, and things just went terribly wrong, and he had to,
Here's Heart of Oak.
A rich man lost his fortune, his investments all went bad. Divorce ensued, his wife went off with everything he had. They towed away the car and then they repossessed the yacht. Fancy caddy limo with the TV, phone, and bar. So he sold off all the paintings and his wedding ring to pay the upkeep on the mansion for a few more precious days. To find a wealthy woman, it was all that he could do, and marry her to keep the life he'd grown accustomed to. So he went down to the yacht club and he downed a mug of beer. He motioned to the barman and he whispered in his ear, I'm looking for a woman who's available and rich. Over there the barman said, go on and make your pitch. Well, she was cozied in the corner with her diamonds and her furs. Already he was contemplating how to make him hers. He boldly introduced himself and looked into her eyes. He filled his heart with passion and he filled her head with lies. Yes, lie, 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 lie. Simon or Garfunkel. Well, little did she know the bank was ready to foreclose. Little did he know that she was wearing borrowed clothes. The furs are imitation and the diamonds all were fake. She was just a two-bit hustler bopping rich guys on the make. So they romped around the mansion for a tawdry couple days. Then he popped the question and she thought and said, okay. Made some very arrangements and were married very soon. And they flew to Acapulco for a sunny honeymoon. Well, they both began to wonder when the bucks would start to come. But much to her amazement, he asked her for some. Their minds filled up with dark suspicion, fear and greed and doubt, as each began to wonder why the other's holding out. Then suddenly an awful evil thought occurred to him. I can have it all, and all I have to do is do her in. He calculated cleverly, and he was very smart. He staged a phony robbery and stabbed her through the heart. Oh, the cops will never catch me, I've thought this whole thing through, and I'll be rich again, my dear dead lover, thanks to you. And to celebrate the riches he'd inherit straight away, he drank champagne that she had poisoned earlier that day. Well, never underestimate physicians and their art. They pumped his poisoned belly and they patched her punctured heart. And when they saw each other and discovered they were well, they stared in disbelief and then they gave each other hell. In the course of this discussion, they soon realized that each had been the victim of the other's wicked lies. They were hustlers hustling hustlers, and both broke into laughter. They finally fell in love and they lived hustling ever after.
Yes, Heart of Oak, live in the WLRN studio. Gee, I just love happy endings. That's That's an original tune.
No, it's a collaboration, actually.
Between you both? Or?
No,
No,
between
a friend of
us and a
ours,
fellow who's dead, who won't be able to get it. The man is dead. No, that was written by a fellow by the name of Tim Wallace, who came from Akron, Ohio. And Tim was responsible for writing a lot of really sensitive love songs like that one. And they're so entertaining and so upbeat and so good.